Have you ever said something in anger that you couldn't take back? Another figure flinching back, hurt. Have you ever made a choice out of fear and regretted it the moment you calmed down? Head in hands moments later. Have you ever watched your own feelings take the wheel and steer you somewhere you never meant to go? Then this video is for you. This is the art of emotional control, not the art of feeling nothing.
The art of not letting your feelings make your decisions for you. Picture a small glass jar sitting on a windowsill. Right now, there's a storm trapped inside it. Thunder, wind, chaos. That storm is every unmanaged emotion you've ever acted on, every slammed door, every torn letter. By the end of this video, that same jar will look very different. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Your brain was not built for good decisions. It was built for survival. Deep inside your skull sits a small almond-shaped alarm system called the amygdala. Its only job is to scream danger, even when the danger is just an annoying email. Meanwhile, your prefrontal cortex, the calm, rational planner, sits at the very front of your brain. The problem? The alarm is faster than the planner, every single time. So when something upsets you, your alarm fires off a decision before your planner even wakes up. That's why you've sent the text you've regretted, slammed the laptop shut, said the thing you can't take back. None of that was really you talking. That was your alarm system, borrowing your voice. Emotional control isn't about silencing the alarm. You can't. It's wired in. It's about learning to wait just long enough for the planner to catch up. Think about the last time you made a decision while furious. Did it age well? Anger convinces you the fire needs fighting right now. It rarely does. Fear does the same thing, just quieter. It convinces you to shrink before you even see the whole picture. Sadness convinces you nothing will ever get better, so why try? Even excitement, the positive one, can wreck a decision just as fast. Signing a contract without reading it. Every strong emotion is a lens, and every lens bends what you see. The danger isn't feeling the emotion. The danger is mistaking the lens for the truth. So what actually works? It starts with one small, almost boring move. The pause. Not a dramatic pause, just enough space between the spark and the response. Neuroscientists have a rough number for this, about 90 seconds. That's roughly how long it takes for the first wave of an emotional chemical flood to rise and fall if you don't feed it. If you don't feed it is the key part. Replaying the argument in your head, that's feeding it. Feeding it turns a 90-second wave into an all-day flood. So the first skill is simple. When the wave hits, do nothing for 90 seconds. Breathe. Walk. Count backward from 10. It doesn't matter what, as long as you don't decide anything yet. The second skill is even stranger. It's naming the emotion out loud. Not, I'm fine, not whatever. The actual word. I'm afraid. Brain scans show something wild happens when you do this. The amygdala's alarm actually quiets down. Putting a feeling into words moves activity from the alarm system toward the planner. In other words, language is a bridge between panic and clarity. So next time your chest tightens, don't just react. Pause and say the word. This is disappointment. This is jealousy. This is fear of looking foolish. The moment you name it, you've stepped slightly outside of it. And that little bit of distance is everything. Here's a question that quietly wrecks bad decisions before they happen. Will future me thank present me for this? It sounds simple. It works because it forces a second brain into the room, the one that isn't currently on fire. Present you, mid-fury, wants to send the email. Future you has to deal with what happens after you hit send. Whenever a decision feels urgent and emotional,
Borrow future you's perspective for 30 seconds. Ask them. 9 times out of 10, future you says, please don't. And today you lowers their hand from the send button. Next, learn to separate 2 things your brain constantly tangles together: the facts and the story. The fact, they didn't reply to my message. The story, they're ignoring me, they're mad at me, I did something wrong. The fact is small and boring. The story is dramatic, and it's the story that hijacks your decisions. So build the habit of asking, what actually happened? Versus, what am I assuming happened? Most emotional decisions are made in response to the story. A story your brain wrote in under a second, with almost no evidence. You can't always stop the story from forming, but you can stop yourself from acting on a first draft. Now, an important distinction, because this is where people get it wrong. Emotional control does not mean stuffing your feelings into a box and smiling through it. Suppressed emotions don't disappear. They compress, and compressed things eventually explode. Studies on suppression are blunt about this. People who bottle emotions report more stress, worse relationships, even worse memory. Regulation is different. Regulation means feel it fully, just don't hand it the steering wheel. You're allowed to be furious. You're just not allowed to let fury write the email. Feel the wave. Ride it. Just don't let it drive. Here's the good news. You don't build this skill in the big moments. You build it in the small ones. The traffic that cuts you off. The slow reply. The comment that stings a little. These are training reps. Low stakes, high frequency. Perfect for practice. Every time you pause instead of snapping at something small, you're rehearsing for the moment that actually matters. Emotional control isn't a personality trait some people are born with. It's a rep count. The people who look naturally calm under pressure usually just have more reps in the bank. Remember that jar on the windowsill? Every pause you take, every emotion you name instead of act on, every story you question before believing it quiets the storm inside it. Just a little. Not because the weather stops coming. Storms will always roll back in. That's what being human is. But now, when a new storm enters the jar, it doesn't run the whole show anymore. The glass holds, the storm moves through, and underneath it, the water stays still. That still water underneath, that's you. That's who was there the whole time, underneath every emotion you ever reacted to instead of felt. Emotional control was never about being cold or robotic or unfeeling. The most emotionally controlled people you know are not the ones who feel the least. They're the ones who feel just as much as everyone else. They've just stopped letting the feeling drive. So next time the storm rolls in, and it will, remember the jar. Pause. Name it. Ask future you. Separate the fact from the story. Let it move through you, not through your decisions. That's the art of emotional control. Not silence, not suppression, just steadiness. And steadiness, it turns out, is a skill anyone can build, one pause at a time. If this helped you see your feelings a little more clearly, hit like, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe for more.